From a small company's plan to dethrone all major automakers to investing billions into its EV infrastructure, is this massive car brand the next EV powerhouse? The EV race is on, and companies are trying their best not only to produce cheap high-range EVs, but to also secure a healthy supply of lithium and cobalt. When you think of the EV race, you usually think of Tesla, Porsche, Audi, or maybe even some of the American manufacturers. But there's one brand that came out of nowhere and has the potential to dethrone them all: Škoda. We're talking about a Czech car maker founded in 1925. While it's a relatively, emphasis on relatively small brand, what you need to know is that it's owned by the Volkswagen Group, so it's got all their tech, all their research. But the reason why it has the potential to dethrone the current kings is the fact that this car maker makes cheap cars. You see, so far, EVs have only been for the rich, and that's exactly why they haven't caught on as well as they should have. But Škoda's here to change that. They've been doubling down on electrification and revealed 6 cars that'll be in the market by 2026. The automaker has said to expect a complete range of all-electric models. So from small, compact cars to larger SUVs, the Czech manufacturer will have them all. Now let's talk about this lineup, starting with the new Elroq crossover. Elroq will be arriving in 2024 as the electric successor to the Škoda Karoq. In Škoda's own words, the car will be the perfect family car, and thanks to the lack of an engine and a bunch of moving parts, it'll also have a spacious and practical interior. The Elroq will be around 177 inches long, and other than that, Škoda hasn't told us much. Most details have been kept under wraps by the car manufacturer. Still, there are a lot of reasons to be excited about this. I mean, SUVs are the best-selling cars currently. Still, the next car that I'm about to mention is the one we should be excited about the most: the Small. As the name suggests, the Small would be the smallest part of their lineup, and the entire reason to get excited about this is the price tag. Because the thing is, it'll start at around $27,500 US. So folks who don't have a ton of cash can still end up helping the environment. Now, here's the cool thing: the Škoda Scala. Yeah, that's an entire class above this car. Even then, the Small would have the same luggage capacity as that, thanks to it being an EV. And this subcompact car will be SUV style. It'll measure around 160 inches long, and it'll be like Škoda's version of the Volkswagen ID.2. But you'll have to wait for quite some time before being able to get your hands on one of these. For now, we know nothing about the car, and it's going to be premiering in 2025. Till then, Škoda's most likely going to keep us in the dark. The next car that I'm going to talk about is something we do know a few things about. It's the facelifted version of the Enyaq and the Enyaq Coupe. A car that's already in production, the Enyaq will be modernized with an extremely comprehensive facelift. The fresher Enyaq will be introduced in 2025, and other than that, the company hasn't said much about the car. Some renderings of it do hint at a more aggressive front end, while lacking a traditional grille. Now, we got the Combi. You know those spacious estates that folks just love so darn much? Yeah, Škoda's bringing him to the EV world. This car will launch in 2026, and it'll be an electric estate. The wagon will not only be ideal for families, but it'll also be perfect for businesses. The Combi will be around 185 inches long, and it'll be the car that Škoda uses to take the strengths of this particularly popular and successful Škoda body style into the electric age. So seems like it's got quite the lineup, right? It's still missing one thing though: a large 7-seater SUV, and that's exactly why Space is being launched in 2026. The 6th and final EV by the Czech car maker will be known as Space, a 7-seat crossover, and it's going to draw its inspiration from 2022's Vision 7S concept. According to the company, it'll be a pinnacle of the new modern solid design language, and it'll be extremely spacious. This particular SUV will be 193 inches long and will help the company tackle the extremely saturated luxury EV market. You know how I mentioned that this car will be the pinnacle of the new modern solid design language? Yeah, what is that? Because let's be real, this is extremely vague. So according to the automaker itself, this means that the cars will be a minimalist and functional exterior design that conveys a sense of safety and strength. And of course, aerodynamics would play an extremely important role in this design language. As far as the interior is concerned, Skoda promises that its EV lineup will not only be spacious and contemporary, but it'll also have great functionality with super intuitive controls. So, with these 6 exciting cars, the company might just end up dethroning everyone. But that's not all, because it's not just the fact that the Czech manufacturer can make great cars, but it's making great progress in batteries too. See, when you think of Skoda, you don't think about a battery giant, do you? You think of it as a small brand that's using research from Volkswagen to make cheap cars. Well, what if I tell you it's actually the opposite? The fact of the matter is, Skoda produces a lot, and I mean a lot of batteries for various cars, produced by the Volkswagen Group. So far, as of June 20th, 2023, it's produced batteries for 500,000 cars. And just because it's past this milestone doesn't mean that the car brand's gonna relax now. In fact, it's trying to raise production capacity to 1,500 batteries a day. At the same time, the company's also already producing 800 plug-in hybrid batteries a day. A new assembly line is coming later in 2023, and that's going to help the brand with this goal. Michael Eljaklas, Skoda Auto Board member for production and logistics, said, "Battery systems are the key component for our successful transformation to e-mobility. We are shifting up another gear soon, and we'll be opening an additional assembly line and further increasing the daily production capacity of battery systems." I mean, take a look at what the company is doing in Australia. It doesn't plan to manufacture any plug-in hybrid electric vehicles in the country. The plan is to slowly phase out its internal combustion engines, also known as ICE, for fully electric cars, instead of going for hybrids. And that shows that this company's not here to mess around when it comes to electric mobility. So as of June 23rd, Skoda Australia only sells ICE cars, and at the end of 24, it's going to launch the Enyaq SUV. After that, ICE is just going to be completely phased out. Yet, what you need to know is that gasoline engines from the brand aren't going away anytime soon. Despite launching 6 new EV models, Skoda isn't going all electric. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You see, ICE will still remain the mainstay of the brand's entire lineup. Skoda has stated that modern engines still have a role to play and that the brand will optimize them to improve efficiency. And instead of phasing them out, the car brand will actually double down on ICE. You see, the company has taken over the development of the EA211 engine. The EA211 is a family of inline 3 and 4-cylinder engines developed by the Volkswagen Group. These engines only come in 1.0, 1.2, 1.4, 1.5 and 1.6 litre configurations. In simpler words, these are small, powerful yet efficient engines that'll make ICE cheaper to drive. At the same time, these engines will help reduce emissions. So the fact of the matter is, we're going to keep seeing cars that run on fossil fuels from the company. We're going to see ICE engines in the new Kodiaq and Superb, which will launch in the fall of 2023. The Octavia, Kamiq and Scala will be refreshed too. And when it comes to these 3 cars, the company will focus on affordable individual mobility for a wide range of customers. So, the chances are they're going to come with all sorts of powertrains, from ICE and hybrids to PHEVs and electric. Skoda really is planning to offer it all, like investing billions in e-mobility. By 2027, Skoda will invest a total of $6.1 billion in its EV department. But then they're also focusing on plug-ins, while also focusing on ICE. Yeah, the small company is going to have a lot on its plate. Well, there you have it. From investing billions into its EV infrastructure to the small company's plan to dethrone all the larger automakers,